Hi, my name is Naomi and I'm the creator of 2 and or 4 who makes handmade products for your 2-legged loved ones and your 4-legged loved ones. Recently I got in a multi-needle embroidery machine. I got the Melco EMT 16X and it came with Madeira thread, and I've been using Madeira thread on my single needle, but I loved the rayon, and when I had my single needle I was really only making personal items. The problem with the rayon is that if you happen to use bleach in your wash, the color will come out. I switched over, and also I was told that the commercial embroidery machines did better with like a poly neon thread. At any rate, I decided to try the candle thread. They've been around for a while. They're based in Texas, I believe, and their 5,500 yard spools are roughly between $550 and $650, whereas the Madeira, the cheapest I could get, the 5,500 spool was like $950. You know, and so that's close to $10 a spool. So I thought I'd give the candle thread a try. Now, candle thread does have a comparison. Like if you put in the Madeira number, it'll tell you what number is good, you know, what number matches on their thread. One of the things I don't like is candle thread does not name its threads, and I'm more likely to remember a name than I am a number, but that's not a deterrent. What I did do was I started a sheet that gave me the candle thread number, and then the Madeira number. Now, when I first want to try a thread, what I do is I buy the small spools to see if I like the color. And so what I want to do today is just kind of see how closely some of these match in color, which is why I'm also sitting by the window. And if you see the occasional, I've already seen one of lightning. I'm going to move this. So this particular one is Madeira 1641, which is the Obsidian. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a black. It's a slightly lighter black than the regular Madeira 1800 black, which I have on my machine and I didn't get it down. And the matching number for candle thread on the ebony black, or the emerald black, sorry, emerald black, which is the 1800 in Madeira, is $69.91. And I have it on the machine. It's a pretty good match. Now, what I will what I do want to say is that frequently you don't get a perfect match. In fact, if you look at batches of our lots, and on the 5,500, I think they give you the lot. Yeah, it tells you, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that because it's pretty light. It tells you the lot number. If you compare different lots, frequently there's going to be a slight variation. It's hard to dye the same exact way because dyeing things can be affected by the temperature and other factors. But I think it's a pretty good match, And most of it, what I found was it is a pretty good match, and it's not going to matter. Now, one of the other things I have found is they did send me a color chart candle thread, but honestly, when I started comparing the numbers and stuff on that chart versus what was coming up when I put in a Madeira number, really none of them, almost none of them were on there. So the chart is definitely lacking. It does not have all the colors they have. I did try texting them and asking them if they had other color charts for purchase, but I never heard back from Candle Thread. So the black, that black is a pretty good match. Now, what I will say about the white is this is Madeira 1801, all right, which I believe is, so I have my sheet set up both by color family, and then I have another sheet that's set up by the actual number. So 1801 is super white. Super white. 1801 is super white. Oh, and the other thing that I've been doing is as I get my candle thread, I've been writing on the bottom, I don't know if you can see that or not, what the matching Madeira number is and what Madeira calls it, since Candle Thread does not give it names. So what I find about these two is that the Madeira is a bit more white. The Candle Thread has kind of a bluish tint, but honestly, in your designs, if you can just find colors that are a close match that will keep the integrity of the design and, you know, what it was intended to look like, I think you're fine. All right, then we have, let's do the blue family. I only have two, and let's see which one this is. This is Madeira 1642, which is lapis, which is a blue that I will use very frequently. And I have to say that this particular one, and you have to remember you're seeing it through a camera which throws different light, the way it bounces and whatever off of it. I have to say this one's pretty spot on. And would not cause any kind of issue using it. All right. Then I have 1934, which the equivalent in candle is 8685. Yeah, no, 8686. 8686, that's royal blue. And I do find a slight difference. The candle is just a tad darker. But it, again, it's not going to be something that's going to really change the look of the design all that much. All right. I'm not going to do every single one I've purchased. The point of this exercise is just to show you. So a few. The other thing I found interestingly is I have put in a Madeira number in Candle Thread, and it has come up with it, what it says the match is, and then I've gone back 2 weeks later and I don't get the same number. Now, I don't know if they're changing their numbers But I found that really interesting, and the way I discovered it was just I just started looking at several ones that I already had the number for, that I did a couple of weeks ago, and the numbers weren't the same. Now I knew I possibly could have made a mistake with one or two of them, but this was several, so I didn't feel that it was something that I made a mistake with. All right, so let's do, you know what, let's go back and do the brown family, what I have here. So here we go. This is Madeira number 1557. It is mud facial, and in candle thread it's 83.59. And as a matter of fact, on the bottom, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that, they actually have the Madeira number next to it, 1557. And this one is just really, really close. I don't think you would be able to tell the difference in a design. All right, the next one that I have that I do tend to use quite a bit is Madeira 1945, which is Sienna. And it is number, let's see, 6884 in candle thread. Now this one I think is off. The candle thread one has quite a bit more red in it than the Madeira one, so I would think twice about using it if I really was trying to get more of a brown. But you know, there are other choices too, so you know, I could probably find a candle thread one that would work. Now we're going to go to some pinks. And this is one of the ones I found where the numbers seem to have changed. So I found, it's on my machine, but the baby pink 1815 first came up as 7815, and then came, a couple of weeks later, came up as 6983. So I would check that again before I ordered the candle thread. Yeah, because that's what I originally had as baby pink. And now it seems to be different. All right. So this is 1909, which I believe is electric pink. And this one's pretty spot on. The corresponding number for candle thread is 8719. And again, that was electric pink. And it's pretty spot on. And then I have 1721, which is flamingo pink, which is a color I do use frequently. So the Madeira number is 1721, and on this one, it is 8649, and again, they have it written that it's corresponding to 1721, which is great. I wish they did that for all of them. This one, I would have to say the candle thread is just slightly darker. It's a little more on a darker shade, but honestly, I think maybe about 15% darker. I don't think it will bother me. All right, purple. Let's do purple. Now in purple, I tend to use 1831 quite a bit. It's in the medium to light purples, and the corresponding, it's purple pansy, and the corresponding is 6823. And I have to say, this one's pretty spot on. You know, I'm trying to look at it with, you know, but again, it depends how the light hits it. But it's pretty close. It's really hard to tell the difference. And it would not bother me to use the candle thread one. Then we have 1911, which is Madeira's Evening Mist, and it is what number did I say? 1911. Oh, I'm not in the purples. Okay. It is 6978 in the candle. And then we go to the darker purples, and I have 1832, and it is 8674 in candle, and that's Majestic Purple. Again, it seems that the candle threads runs just like slightly darker, but nothing that is really going to affect the integrity or the overall look of the design. And then the last one, because I could go on, I have reds, I have oranges, I have yellows and stuff, but I think you guys get the point. 1922, which is, again, inside of the spool of the candle thread, they have the 1922, and it is Regal Purple, and it is number 7000. Yep. So, honestly, I love having a thread chart, but I didn't find Candle Thread's thread chart all that helpful. I don't think it's extensive enough to what the colors they really have. And so I definitely have relied on looking at the Madeira color chart on allstitch.com and then seeing if I could find a match on candle thread. And like I said, I buy the small spools to see if I like the color, and then if I like the color, I buy a big spool. So I hope that was of some value. If you felt it was, I would appreciate if you clicked the thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, if you would subscribe. I am starting to come back and do videos. I suffered what was a major loss in my life, and it's taken me a while to get back to it. But I'm back now, and I hope to continue doing videos. Thank you so much.